Hi everyone, this is Christina, and I'm back for my official 2-week post-op check-in. I wanted to come to you today to just update you on what's life been like 2 weeks post-op. I don't know what that was. But first, let's start with my stats. On November 9th, 2016, I had gastric bypass at Northwestern Memorial Hospital here in Chicago, Illinois, under Dr. Jeffrey Franza. When I went in for surgery, I weighed in at 372.6. Last week, for my 1 week post-op, I was 363.4. And today, I am 352 even. So that is 11.4 pounds for the week and 20.6 pounds down since surgery. And that's actually 48 pounds down since my highest weight of 400 pounds back in, I want to say May of this year. So that's pretty awesome to be down 20 pounds in 2 weeks. It's really interesting because it took me from May until I had surgery in November to lose like 25 pounds on my own. So 20 pounds in 2 weeks, I have zero complaints about it at all. So the last video that I did was my 4-day post-op kind of video, and I said that I would come back after I had my surgeon post-op checkup. However, because of the holidays, I won't be able to actually see him until next Monday on the 28th, but I still wanted to do a 2-week post-op video just because a few things have changed, and I'm starting to eat more and incorporate different stages of food, and I wanted to talk about it. Okay, so I think at my last video, I was still kind of like on full liquids. I was drinking broth. I was drinking water with Crystal Light mixed in. Just your typical kind of like bariatric diet after surgery. And towards the end of last week, I advanced to pureed food. And so I ended up getting like some chicken. I got a rotisserie chicken from Mariano's actually, and I shredded it all up, and I would kind of like portion out 2 ounces at a time, and then I would put in 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt and a tablespoon of mayonnaise, and that's kind of like what I ate for puree, because it's not a clear delineation between puree and soft foods for me, because I don't know. I mean, I know they say like applesauce consistency or whatever, but I'm really not gonna put whole ass pieces of meat in a blender or a food processor and try to make a soup out of it. No, that's where I have to draw the line. So I just try to eat meat that was tender and that was moist and mix it with something like Greek yogurt, so that it had kind of like a thick paste type of substance. And that seemed to work well for me. I didn't have any issues with anything going down. I was eating some of the Tuna Creations packets. I bought a few of the sweet and spicy ones because those were the only ones that the store had. And those actually were really good. And I think each pouch is like 16 grams of protein or something crazy. And so I would again do the same thing. I would put 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt and a tablespoon of mayonnaise, and that was a good like 17 or 18 grams of protein per pouch or whatever. And so that has worked for me thus far. I've also I tried scrambled eggs for the first time because I love eggs and I love cheese, and so this was a big deal for me when I was making it. I was like, if my stomach doesn't tolerate this, honestly, my life will be over, because I love eggs so much. I can't even tell you. And so I scrambled 2 eggs, not expecting to be able to eat 2 eggs at all, but I scrambled 2 eggs with a little bit of shredded mozzarella cheese. And so, I prayed to Beyonce and I hoped that everything went down smooth, and it did. And so I'm happy to say that, yes, my stomach is tolerating eggs and cheese just fine. So honestly, I don't care if I can't tolerate anything else. As long as I can eat eggs and cheese, I feel like I'm good on that. Um, I also tried some refried beans. I heated those up on the stove, and then I also put some shredded cheese on top because cheese makes everything better. Every single thing in the world. I made some of the ricotta bake, which was fine. It wasn't my favorite. It didn't taste as good as I remember. I mean, it wasn't nasty by any means, but it wasn't something that I found myself eating a lot of. And I ended up actually threw most of it away. Um, so yeah, that's kind of like what my food intake has been like for the first 2 weeks. The thing that I am struggling with is actually my water intake. And it's not because it's difficult to drink water, but it's just the remembering of having to keep drinking and keep drinking and keep drinking. That's kind of been the issue for me. Um, like when I wake up, first thing I do is I drink water. And so I have a million bajillion. Actually, I'm going to show you guys really quickly. I have a million bajillion alarms on my phone because I have to remind myself all day long to keep eating and to keep drinking because if I don't, it's not going to happen. It will not happen. And I think that's the problem that I'm having is that I'll start, sipping and drinking or what have you. And then, I'll get up to do something and, just live my life. And, excuse me, thought I had to burp. And I'll just continue living my life. And then before you know it, it's been 45 minutes to an hour and I haven't had anything to drink. And so that's the issue that I'm having to get through, to remember to keep drinking, and to get through the ounces that I need to get through in order to stay hydrated. And going back to the hospital for dehydration is not an option by any stretch of the imagination. So this is definitely something that I need to work on because it's like between drinking my water and trying to get my protein in, it's like it's too much and I have to try to prioritize which is in which is more important basically. And so for a while it was just protein. Like I was making sure I was like drinking these protein shakes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, making sure that I'm trying to at least get 75, 80 grams of protein for now. And then my water would suffer. I would get maybe like a bottle and a half of like the little regular bottles. I would get like a one and a half of those in for the day, and that's not acceptable. So now I've been trying to figure out a way to kind of do both. Maybe. I don't know how it's going to work, but that's definitely something that I'm still struggling with, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks it'll get better with all the alarms that I've set. And I actually downloaded this new app called iHydrate, which I set alarms for as well, and it'll just tell me like, hey, you know, time to drink, basically. And if you see right here in the corner, I just bought all those bottles of water. And first of all, they were heavy, so I dropped them right by the door. But I bought 2 cases of bottled water just so that I always have water with me, like no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, as I'm like running errands and just living life. And I also ordered what is it? The Nectar Syntrax. They have some grab and go pouches, and each of the pouches, I believe, are like 20 or 22 grams of protein, and they function just like Crystal Light. You can put them in your water bottles and kind of like, have that to drink on for a couple hours. And I feel like that will kind of be like killing two birds with one stone. I'll be able to get my protein and get my water at the same time. And they were supposed to be delivered today, but the USPS is trash per usual, and they delivered it to a address that is not mine. So I assume they're going to reroute it, and hopefully it'll be here on Friday because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So yeah, hopefully that arrives and I can, work with that, because the protein powder that I have now does not really mix well with water. It doesn't really work that well. So hopefully this will come in handy, and I'll let you guys know how that works out. Also, I also actually just finished making protein pudding. And you may be surprised to know that I actually almost ruined it. A 3 ingredient meal I almost ruined because I was not paying attention and I put too much milk in it. So I had to concoct some shit basically to get it back to the consistency that it was supposed to be so that it'll actually set. But it's good. It's in the refrigerator. I have something to eat later this evening to snack on or what have you. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, a non-scale victory. Okay, so I have a lot of clothes. Well, I had a lot of clothes. A couple of days before I went in for surgery, I ended up throwing out 8 big garbage bags full of clothes just because there was so much stuff that I had that I hadn't worn in years, and it was just sitting there taking up space, and it was just, I couldn't handle it anymore. And so, but one of the things that I didn't throw out were my Trip skinny jeans. And Trip jeans used to be sold by Torrid before Torrid started carrying their own brand of denim. And Trip skinny jeans were like the only jeans I wear. Only jeans that I wear. And it had got to a point earlier this year where like it was cold, as it usually is in Chicago, and I was like, okay, well, it's too cold for, my usual dresses or skirts, so I'll just I'll just wear my jeans. I tried to put on those jeans. My thighs said, no, girl, not today. It's not gonna happen. And I was just like flabbergasted. I couldn't get them up a little bit. Like, they came up a little bit past my knees. Like, I couldn't get them up any further. And I was just like, damn, I can't even fit in my jeans anymore. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is crazy. And I was like, well, maybe it's that pair. Like, let me try another pair. Let me try another pair just to be safe. Y'all, I tried to pull up those fucking jeans. Again, my thighs were like, no, girl, you're not going to wear these today. You ain't going to wear these tomorrow, and you ain't going to wear them again until your fat ass starts losing some pounds. And I was like, shit. I can't believe I can't fit into my favorite jeans anymore. What am I going to do when it's fucking 5 degrees here in Chicago? So yeah, that was kind of like a boost to be like, okay, girl, you got to get it together because we got to fit into these jeans again. What are you going to do? It's cold. And so yesterday I had to go to the dentist, and I don't have any tights for the winter yet. I haven't bought any. And I was like, let me see if at least these come up a little bit. I wasn't expecting to actually be able to wear them. I just wanted to see, could I pull them up a little further than I did before? And so I started, pulling them up, and I was like, oh, okay. And they came up and they buttoned, and none of that shimmying, jumping in, laying back on the bed type of fit. They actually fit. So that was definitely a non-scale victory, I guess. I fit back into my jeans, which is interesting because now that I'm at 352, this is my usual weight. I've always been around 340, 350. That's always where I generally maxed out. And then in the last 2 years, that's when I put on that extra 50 pounds and life spiraled out of control. But this is kind of where I've always been. And so I'm glad to see that some of my clothes that I used to wear are now starting to fit again. That's dope. Now I have a much bigger wardrobe. So that was a non-scale victory that happened this week. What else happened? Oh, I want to talk to you guys about the importance of vitamins. And the reason I say that is because I found out, I reread my nutrition packet that I got from the nutritionist, and I realized that the doses that I was taking for my vitamins were not right. And of course, all my fault. Like when I was buying them on Amazon, I wasn't really paying attention to the actual milligrams in each vitamin. So I was just kind of like, I would type in, calcium citrate, and I'd just be like, add to cart. I wasn't really paying attention. So when I originally bought the calcium citrates, I bought 250 milligrams. And that isn't nearly enough. I'm supposed to be having between 1,200 to 1,500 milligrams every day. And so 250, I'm not trying to have to take like 6 goddamn chews every day. That's ridiculous. So I ended up having to buy another kind. And I'll tell you what kind that I bought because there's a story attached to that. But the other ones I had to rebuy are the iron ones. The ones I originally had were 18 milligrams, and I need between 45 and 65. So I bought some new ones. These are 60 milligram chewables, and they're berry flavored. I mean, whatever. They all taste the same. It's whatever. But back to my calcium. So after I bought the 250 milligrams, I was like, okay, I need to buy a higher dosage. So I went in and I typed in, calcium citrate 500 milligrams to make sure I'm getting the right ones. Added them to cart, purchased them, everything was fine. They arrived last week, like Wednesday. And so Thursday came and I was trying to, and I was like, organizing them and, getting them settled so I can know, okay, I'll take my calcium here, take my iron there, blah, blah, blah. And I realized that they were gummy vitamins. And I was like, damn it, Christina, why weren't you paying attention? I don't want gummy vitamins. I just wanted the chewable ones. And on top of being gummy, they had some shit on them. I'm assuming it was like sugar because every two gummy had 6 grams of sugar. And I was like, sis, this is not a treat. I don't need sugar in this. I'm just trying to get some nutrition. And so, but I had already gave away my 250 milligram calcium. So I was like, well, I'll just take one of these. And then, because my other ones were supposed to be delivered Saturday, I think, or Friday. And so I was like, okay, even though it was a gummy and even though it had some shit on it, stupid me was like, okay, I'll just take it anyway. Shouldn't have done that, y'all. Thursday night, my stomach was just like, it didn't hurt. I didn't feel any pain or pressure or anything like that, but it was just a discomfort. My stomach was doing a lot of that type of stuff. And I didn't know what was going on. And at first I was like, is it something that I ate? But everything that I had been eating was stuff that I had been eating for the past couple days and had no issue. So I was like, no. So I'm just going to blame it on the goddamn gummy because that's the only new shit that I had that day. And it was just discomfort. I was just like, my stomach just feels like, it's doing a twist or something. I don't know what's happening. And so I was like, I didn't know if I was constipated. I was like, is this constipation? Is that what this feels like? I had no idea. I was like, do I have to go to the bathroom? Is my body trying to go to the bathroom and something's wrong? It's not, working somehow. And I had previous bowel movement. So I was like, I don't really know what's going on, but I don't like this. And so, like I said, it didn't hurt or anything like that. So I just, continued on about my day. And then later that night, I was laying in the bed and my stomach was still kind of doing some weird gurgling stuff. And I was just like, I have no idea what's happening. So I took a couple Gastric strips and I can't really say if they helped or didn't help, but I don't know. I just went to sleep. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go to bed. And so I went to sleep and I woke up in the morning and it was fine. Thankfully, nothing's happened ever since. I haven't taken any more of those gummies, but I do know that I'm not taking no goddamn gummies again, ever in my life. I'm good on that. I have my chewables and everything is Gucci. So, yeah. That's just your forewarning. Don't be fucking with them gummies, y'all. They not worth it. Get you some chewables and let it do what it do, because there's a reason why they say don't eat them gummies. So, actually, I think that's it. It's been 20 minutes, but that's basically everything that's happened thus far. What I actually need to do is do some like full body shots, and I was supposed to do it earlier and I totally forgot. And it's dark right now. As you can probably see, the light is gone. And it's weird because, like, I'm in my sports bra and a pair of underwear because that's how I live my life and that's how I walk around my house because I pay the bills in this motherfucker, so it doesn't matter. Um, but I should probably do that. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Since for Thanksgiving I'll be eating eggs and chicken salad. So yeah, whatever. I will probably try to come back and update with some full body stuff. But if not, then I'll just continue the update next week because then I will actually be able to talk about my post-op check-in with my surgeon. So yes, yeah. So that's everything. Um, I guess I will see you guys next week for my 3-week post-op check-in. Bye.